Hey everyone, it's Benjamin Blue. Thank you for checking out the second part of a story that I've been working on. I thought I would try something different with this upload. I hope you enjoy it, and if you do, drop me a like. Part 2 of The Man in the Mirror. Hey, wake up! That echoing call startled me, and I found myself, still very tipsy, slumped over partially on another passed out midsummer partygoer. What? I asked, as if the answer wasn't any more obvious. I had knocked out a few turns away from my own during a game of Truth or Dare. I was among other familiar faces at a gathering put together by a good friend of mine. "Hey man, it's your turn," said an unfamiliar face. A few seconds later, the same person asked, "Truth or Dare?" I couldn't formulate any sentence at this moment. The buzz of a drunken nap still circled my head, and I couldn't think clearly. Perhaps this is why I responded with a very weak "Dare," my voice nearly inaudible among the chatter and music. "Dare it is! I dare you to." My heart began to beat faster. "Oh great, here it comes," I thought to myself, still imagining the darkness of the bathroom. That inky darkness rippling in front of my view of the unfamiliar man sitting across from me. The haze of my memory slowly fading into the present. "Grab hold of Roman's ass and give it a squeeze that he will never forget," said the man. Whew. No one is making me go into that bathroom and talk to the mirror. I didn't even stop and think twice about how grabbing someone's ass would be easier than getting pushed into a dark bathroom. Priorities. It was getting late and the party was slowly dying out. Friends and other faces either were passed out on whatever comfortable surface presented itself or had gone home. Before I made a fool of myself again, I decided to just see myself out without a word. I made my way out of the apartment front door, down the staircase, and out of the main entrance. The October air was chilling me through my striped hoodie. Perhaps deciding to walk the few blocks to and from my friend's place was a mistake. The street was quiet, and the moon was hidden behind some rather dark-looking clouds. The streetlights cast eerie shadows as I made my way down the quiet street. I heard a dog bark in the distance, somewhere behind me, which startled me. I found it odd that I had been walking for several minutes and had not seen a car pass by on the street. I tried not to think about it too much. I was still a few blocks away from my apartment. I continued on. A moment later, I began to feel as if someone was behind me. The skin on the back of my neck prickled as if eyes were scanning over me. I inhaled and held my breath. I kept walking and tried not to make a sound as I did. My footsteps were dull thuds on the sidewalk. The sound of my foot splashing into a small puddle urged me to walk faster. That feeling still lingered. Someone was behind me, moving without a sound. Whoever it was matched my pace as every step I took. I felt their presence just behind me. My judgment was usually on point, so I turned around. Nothing. Just a street without a soul to be seen. I stood there for a few seconds before turning back around. One more block to go. In the distance, I thought I saw someone standing on the street corner holding on to the lamppost with an arm. I couldn't be sure. The figure was completely still except for a black sheen that seemed to be blowing on the wind, except there wasn't even a breeze to be felt. The rippling black cloth elongated and reached across the street, dancing over a parked car. A hand reached out from the body and began motioning me to walk toward it. Transfixed, I walked on toward the black figure. Unable to turn my head, my eyes were locked on that being standing there, motioning me toward it. Closer and closer I drew. Panic began to set in. I couldn't stop myself. What was this before me? I couldn't tell. Did I want to know what being could have this power over me? My will to flee was non-existent. Now I was only a few feet from it. It towered over me. What I thought was its face was nothing but darkness. The light of the lamppost spilled over it, highlighting its featureless body. Milky white eyes looked down at me, deep into me. I felt the heat of the stare. What was this? Judgment? I felt like my whole life was being observed. Film negatives over an incandescent bulb. It burned deep inside. The light of the lamppost flickered, then shut off for a moment. When the light came back on, there was nothing there anymore.